Hey, this is Walt from StogieReview.com here with another video review. Notice they didn't say cigar review. I'm actually reviewing a cigar accessory that was sent to me by our friend Mark Neff over at Cigarmony, and it is the Aeolus cigar spear. I'm probably butchering the word, but it's basically a draw poker with some nice features to it that comes in 4 finishes. It's bocoat, walnut, figured maple, and cocobolo. So there are 4 finishes, all of which are the accessory itself is the same. It's just the finish is different, and the pricing is all the same on them. They are rather pricey. Basically, it's a unit that comes in a clear plastic tube. I'm going to zoom in so you can see it, which is just a protective sleeve. It twists and comes apart, and inside, this one is maple. I've got a wooden shaft and a manufactured stone plug on the end. I think this is Corian, I'm not 100% sure on that. And basically what it is it's a housing for a cigar spear, or a draw poker. Just loosen the stone base, or the Corian base, and retract it, and you've got a long metal rod with a threaded end, and you've got this handle on the end. And the unique thing about this unit that sets it aside from everything else is it's got it sort of looks like a ring shank nail at the end. There's a point. I'm sure you can't see this because it's focused on my face, but there's a point to the unit, and then there are these sort of serrations that again look like a ring shank nail. And basically, what they do differently than a standard cigar spear, and what just thinking about it, I just happened to pack up my draw pokers. I should have kept them out just for this review so I could show you the difference. But basically what they allow you to do is sort of saw away at some tobacco within the cigar. One of the big problems that I've had with draw pokers, especially the set that I have, they're Henry's cigar tools or something like that. They're just a metal rod that's bent at the end, and they have a wooden handle. And they're clipped at the end, and when you buy them, they come in 2 sizes, a short and a long. And these serrations are what makes it different. My issue with the other one, excuse me, is you get a cigar that's got a plug in it, or it's not drawing properly. You want to get some more smoke and more or less save that cigar. For me, I prefer my cigars to draw on the looser side, and when I begin to struggle to get a mouthful of smoke, I start wondering, do I want to keep fighting the cigar, or do I just want to pitch it? And a lot of times I'll reach for the draw poker, run it through the cigar, and see if it helps open it up. Now with the Henry cigar tools, what ends up happening is you force this rod in through the cigar. It's difficult because it follows the tobacco as it goes, and the material is a thin enough gauge and a soft enough material where there's a bit of flex to it. So as you're inserting it into the cigar, it's sort of traveling down the filler any way that it wants. It's not, it doesn't like wave in and out of the cigar, but you can have enough deflection where it'll actually punch through, it'll kind of sweep down or sweep up or sideways, and it'll actually punch through the wrapper. So you have to be really, really careful on how you insert the tool into the cigar and how much of it you insert. So you put it in there, you run it in and out a little bit, you create a tunnel. You pull it all the way out, and then you give it a shot. Sometimes you can run it into where you feel the plug and stop. If that doesn't seem to help, you can run it all the way through the cigar and punch it out the foot. But what my major issue was as you smoke the cigar a little bit, the tobacco swells from the heat, and it closes off that hole. Or if you're pulling on it and drawing on it, it's almost sort of like a vacuum where it sucks the hole shut, and you're right back to the same problem. Now you may need to remount the cigar 3, 4, 5 times throughout the whole thing until you can smoke it all. My issue has always been with draw pokers is that when you run it all the way through and you punch past that plug, even if you only run it part of the way through, you punch through that plug, when you burn up to that tunnel, it acts as an insulator. The hot smoke comes through the cigar and it travels down that tunnel and it creates a hot spot on my tongue. I hate that. The cigar wind up getting hot. They become airy because you seem to be getting air directly through that hole and you're not getting as much smoke volume. So while it does save your cigar, it can make it unpleasant. And I find more often than not, I'm not happy with the result of the draw poker. It does allow me to continue smoking the cigar, but I'm not as happy as I would be. You know, it's not like the cigar was perfect or is perfect. You know, it betters the situation, and that's about all. The nice thing about this cigar spear is that with these serrated edges, you don't have much problem with the hole closing back up, because as you run it in and out, it sort of cuts away, almost like a nail file would. It cuts away at the tobacco, you pull it out, and all these rings will be filled up with little pieces of tobacco. You wipe them off, you run it right back in there, and you can cut some more, you know, just sort of moving it back and forth. It will cut away and pull away some of that tobacco. Now, I've used this with pretty good success. You know, you can feel the plug, and you punch through it, and you cut away some of the tobacco, and that's kind of it. I've been done after that. I haven't had to go back a second or a third time to remount that hole again. I try not to go very deep with this because I don't want to hit that tunnel, and I only like to go in just past the serrations if possible. And what that does is it usually puts me right at about the band. I typically smoke down past the band, but it gives me a sense of, it almost makes me feel as though I've got my money's worth before I hit that tunnel and the smoke becomes hot. So as far as this working, I think it works far, far better than the other tools that are on the market. The big problem I see with this is that it's very expensive. These are all handmade parts. From what Mark was telling me, all the parts are hand turned, hand assembled, so that it's labor intensive, hand finish, and it runs $90. So it's not a tool for someone. You know, it's not something I would recommend for the hobbyist. You know, if you only smoke a couple of cigars a month or a couple of cigars a year, you're probably not going to get your money's worth out of this. If you're a hardcore cigar smoker where you're smoking maybe 10 plus a week, and you're running into that problem where you're getting plugs, this tool will pay for itself within the year, I think. You know, just think of it this way. If let's say you smoke 10 cigars a week, and over the course of 4 weeks in a month, you get, you know, one plug cigar. You get one $10 plug cigar. This essentially will save that cigar, and let's say it's a $10 cigar. So it's, you know, the numbers stack up. So you save one cigar a month at $10 over the course of 12 months. You save $120. Therefore, this essentially pays for itself. So while it is a hefty upfront price for what it is, being a draw poker, I think it does its job very, very well. Of the tools that I've used on the market, I think this does the job the best. But again, it's a big price tag to get over. And had Mark not been kind enough to send me one to review, I don't know that I would have ordered one just because of the price. I would have gotten sticker shock and you know, probably shied away from the item. But again, if you're smoking several cigars a week and you know you're running into that plugged stick, or maybe your favorite cigar is one that has a tendency to be plugged or tight on the draw, this can definitely help that situation. It won't completely remedy it, again, because you're going to get that hot smoke coming through the tunnel. But I think it'll go a long way in making those cigars more enjoyable. So those are my thoughts on the Aeolus cigar spear from cigarme.com. Again, they come in 4 finishes and they run like $89.95. So head on over to cigarme.com. Check out what you know, information Mark's got on the cigar spear. There isn't a whole lot, but it's worth checking out if you're interested in the tool. And get in touch with Mark if you have any questions. I'm sure he'll be more than happy to get back to you with any information you may request. He's always been great as far as that's concerned. You know, as far as that goes, at least in my experience. So if you're interested in the item, head over to Cigarme, give Mark a shout, and ask him any questions you may have. But those are my thoughts on the Aeolus cigar spear. So until next time, happy smoking.